Edinburgh pitch usually happens in mid-June. Of course, this year it's going to be online like everyone else. But we've got 12 fantastic projects. Amongst those 12 projects, I think we've got 3 produced by Scottish filmmakers. 3 out of 12 is really good, because we've got hundreds of proposals coming from all over the world. We've got films who we know will end up being nominated for Oscars. I mean, like last year, for example, The Cave, a Syrian film, was pitched for the first time at Edinburgh Pitch Forum. So this is why we preserve the quality, because we know that the films that we're promoting will end up at that level. So whenever Scottish films are selected, it's because they are at that level. So this year, I think 3 Scottish films being pitched there will be fantastic. Usually, I mean, the last few years, we've had, 1, 2, kind of, this year we've got 3. We've got a lot of work in development, and that's really exciting because it's really interesting films being made. So we've got about 25 broadcasters from all over the world being part of that pitching forum. The best broadcasters, the best funds, so Sundance, Tribeca, etc., kind of, will be there listening to the projects. We've got the best kind of programmers from different film festivals, such as Sundance, IDFA, CPH Docs, kind of Sheffield, will be there listening to the pitch. We've got individual private funds who want to finance documentary films. So all of them will be there listening to the 12 projects. But we've also got one-to-one meetings. And during the one-to-one meetings, we try to squeeze a few more projects that we didn't select from Scotland, but we feel that, should be starting to have conversations. And therefore, we help, once again, Scottish filmmakers to start kind of, having dialogues, to be introduced to the right people, and to start to be part of that club, which needs to kind of expand. So all the time, we are organizing activities in order to promote creative documentary, but in order to also keep developing, growing the quality of documentary in Scotland. And we've, interestingly enough, we've got a fairly large community of Spanish filmmakers in Scotland, who love being in Scotland, but finding, their home in terms of being a filmmaker, which is very interesting. So I wanted to show you the trailer of one of them called Chico Pereira. And Chico started by being an MA student in Edinburgh. Then he went on doing Bridging the Gap, which did extremely well. And then he started developing a first feature doc, which we produced, and then a second one. And Chico, I don't know, I mean, his film's been going around the world. So it's this is kind of, his latest one, Don Quixote. And he's basically, he keeps filming in Spain. So it's not like he's filming in Scotland, but then comes back. He works with a DOP from, who's based in Scotland. DOP, which is German, but living in Scotland, who also kind of, studied at Edinburgh College of Art. And he comes and edits in Scotland. So all this kind of, helps kind of, the talent in Scotland to develop, but also to gain reputation internationally with the awards kind of, won by the film. So I'll show you a little extract of Don Quixote, the trailer, just to give you an idea of the style of film that we promote.
Rio! Vete!
Estoy pensando en un camino largo.
América. América. Anda, papá.
¿Cómo río?
Maestra.
I am hungry. I am tired. Pero quiero ir con un animal. En concreto el animal es un burro. Entonces,
No, no, la canción, pero bueno, a ver, sigue.
Ya, me queda ya muy poquito, ¿vale?
¡Toma, gorrión! ¡Vete! ¡Toma, vete!
So this film is the story of this old man who wants to go to America to do his last final long walk, but he wants to go with his companion, and his companion happens to be a donkey. Now, trying to get a visa to go to America is next to impossible, as you guys from Mexico kind of, will know. Trying to get a donkey to America, it's nearly as bad, kind of, coming from Europe. So it gives a lot of humor and shows the stupidity of the system. But it's a very human kind of story, very tender story of this old man desperately wanting to get his donkey across borders. Now, you'd think that who cares about an old man walking with a donkey? But as I said, the film was so popular in international festivals, it was unbelievable. But we also did a co-production with Germany, of all countries. Germany has nothing to do with Spain. Germany doesn't really have, that much of, to do with a Spanish-speaking community. And yet, they co-funded the film with us and co-distributed it. So that was really interesting kind of surprise from us for working with Spain, with Germany as a co-producer. So the career kind of of this filmmaker has been launched. He's now doing a series for Netflix, etc. So after kind of doing one short for us and 2 feature documentaries, this is it. He's kind of flown the cage, kind of out in the world. And I'm talking about Chico because he's kind of Spanish-based filmmaker, just to show you that we are really pushing different voices to come out of Scotland, not just kind of Scottish-born kind of filmmakers. So I think we